everybody. So today I'm going to be answering a question that I received on YouTube, and the question is from Cash G. And Cash basically writes that they've had numerous injuries, knee injuries in the past. Most recently, they injured the knee with being placed in a lockdown position, and they tweaked the knee. And now they're kind of lacking some knee flexion, so they're unable to fully bend the knee. So if we look at the knee here, they're unable to get full bend in the knee. And Cash is asking, is there any danger to coming back to Jiu-Jitsu without having full knee flexion or full bend in the knee? And then what are maybe some things that they can do to improve that range of motion? So first of all, there are some risks. There's always risks when you don't have full mobility in your joints. Again, you could be placed in that position forcefully by an opponent, and it could injure something or damage something if the tissue or the knee itself isn't prepared to move in that range of motion. Again, you may have to modify your positions. It may limit you being in someone's guard. Sitting back onto your heels may be tough. So you may want to adjust the positioning that you get into, or try to manage what type of positions you end up getting into. Again, anything where you're getting compressed, or if you're playing guard and somebody's on top, they're compressing your legs down. Again, that's something else to think about. Looking at positions like half guard may be beneficial as well. Those things that may be playing from one side versus the other based on which knee is the affected knee. So just again, there are some risks. Try to manage what positions you get into. My recommendation is doing a half guard or even an open guard may be a solid way to go. Again, try to avoid getting compressed or even being in someone's closed guard, because when you are and you're unable to sit back onto your heels adequately, so if we can't sit back on our heels, it's going to force our weight forward and our posture will more easily be broken. So that's something to be concerned about. But I'm going to show you one exercise that I like to actually improve knee mobility. Now, so the knee, when it bends and straightens, there is some joint space that gets affected. So when we fully bend the knee, it closes down that joint space. And what we're gonna try to do today is show you a technique that's gonna kind of help with creating a little more space in that joint, loosen up that tissue a little bit to provide some more range of motion and freedom of movement. So let's get started with the technique. So there's a few things to think about with the knee joint. Again, the knee likes to be in kind of a semi-flexed position here. That's where there's most space in the knee joint. Now, if we try to close or flex the knee fully, or extend or straighten the knee fully, what happens is that closes down on that joint space. So if there's some irritation, inflammation, tension or tightness in the knee, those end ranges are going to be tough. So now we're going to show you one technique that you can do, and kind of two ways you can do this technique with something that you have with you every day, which is like your gi. If you don't have your gi, a towel is great, but in this case, Jiu-Jitsu, we're on the mats, we're warming up. Having a gi is going to be pretty readily available, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So what you're going to do is you're going to basically fold it in half, and you're just going to roll it up. Make a nice little roll here. That's about a good size to use. Now there's a couple ways we're going to do this. The first way is we're just going to sit on our butt. We're going to take this rolled up towel or rolled up gi, and we're going to put it under directly under our knee joint. We're going to take our hands here, and we're going to gently just pull our shin towards our butt. Now we're not going to be able to do that because obviously the gi is in the way. It's kind of blocking the joint a little bit. What it's doing though is as we're bending our knee, it's creating some gapping in that joint. It's creating a little space in that joint. So all you really need to do, you come here, you can kind of give it a little bit of gentle pull. Now make sure you're not having any pain with this. 10 to 15 second holds, and you can do about 5 of these. So again, just relax, give it a little release of the tension, and then pull back again. An easy one to do right here. So the other option we can do is on hands and knees, take the towel or the gi, put it under right behind our knee, right in that knee joint, put it in there, and then gently just work on shifting our hips back and down. It's going to create a little bit of a gapping. You'll feel a little pressure with it, but it should be fairly comfortable. You shouldn't have any pain. And just here and working back again, 10 to 15 seconds, about 5 reps is plenty. And doing those couple things will help you out. So guys, that's a quick and easy way to just get that knee joint loosened up a little bit if it feels kind of tight or you're lacking a little bit of range of motion. Again, this isn't something I really recommend if you have a lot of laxity or mobility in your knee, but if the knee feels kind of stiff, kind of tight, this is definitely a great technique to use. You can do the one where you're sitting on your butt or the one on hands and knees. Very simple, very easy. Again, if you're lacking range of motion, modify the positions you get into, play around and do some testing on your own just to see what's comfortable and what your knee can tolerate. Always use your best judgment. Guys, that's it. If you have any questions, shoot me a comment down below. I hope this answered your question, helped you out, Cash. See you next time.